always on a bit of an edge, Ollie, when a team like the Bombers have got nothing to lose and they're going to throw everything at you, and the human capital out there and human nature, you don't know what you're going to be up against. So I think we've prepared pretty well up here and in here to be ready for what they threw at us, and we just got off to a great start. And to get a small margin or a reasonable margin at quarter time was a good opening to the game. But ultimately, we're tinkering things. We know there's areas we need to improve to help the sort of the differential in the scores. I felt like we didn't go over the top with improving out of sight with a couple of those things. So there's still a bit more to work on defensively, I'm talking about. But ultimately, the work ethic was high all night, so it's a good result.
Sam and Aaron up forward, pretty threatening when they're up and going. How pleasing was that to see them convert their opportunities tonight?
It was great, yeah, and they, as you said, they converted. They kicked straight, made the most of it. Didn't always feel like we picked them out or kicked it to them when we should have. A handful of occasions. As you probably realise, we rucked from our back end tonight, and that was by design, just to keep those two out there together a little bit longer. As the match fitness has kicked in over the years, Naughts has really come into his own after an interrupted pre-season, and Sam, off his break, is now back to some really strong match fitness, so they can play more minutes. Sam might still have a run in the ruck here and there if he's not in the game, but if we're creating opportunities, then we'd like to keep them forward a bit more. So Rory did a really good job for us, pinch hitting with Tim. Hence, the reason for the three keys, and with Bus and James having to make sure that they cover when Rory's off. So that sort of worked out reasonably well for us.
Were you particularly impressed with transition from defensive 50? That looked like something you really were on top of, and particularly in the first half, and obviously great skill to nail down pat in the back end of the season. Yeah, we knew we were going to have to work hard for it. Essendon play a bit more of a one-on-one sort of cover-off defence in their front end, not to make sure you don't exit too fluently. So we had to work hard at the leg and then away from it, and to kick 8 goals from rebound is a pretty significant result. We didn't do that last week. We kicked long to a contest reasonably early. The conditions had something to do with that up there in Brisbane, because it was pretty wet, but we still felt there were times where we needed to take better options. We were able to do that tonight, and it made a huge difference because we got some isolation at times. They still probably trampolined out of our front end when we kicked it to some one-on-ones here and there a bit too easily. We only had 18 forward-half turnovers. It's not a lot. The game was sort of an up and back type game.
Are you able to provide us with an update on Libba's foot, it looked like?
Yeah, he got the stops scraped against his ankle there, and just bruised him up a little bit. And he was okay, wasn't impeded, but we just thought, 6-day break, and we pulled him out of that midfield just for a brief period just to make sure he was okay. A little bit conservative with him tonight, took him out, Latham came on, he should be fine next week.
Luke, you must have been really delighted with some of your lesser-known players that have come into the team tonight. Guys like Jed Bustler, Oscar Baker came into the lineup, and Jared Potter over the last few weeks that really played well tonight, and they're really trying to stay in the team and really making it hard for players to push them out.
Yeah, I thought those lads did the little things pretty well. Oscar Baker, who you mentioned, I think you mentioned Caleb Poulter as well, just when they needed to put their bodies on the line, when they needed to give us a contest, I felt like they held their end up. Lockie McNeil, laid some crucial tackles, and they didn't necessarily, trouble the stats man and give them riders cramp or anything like that, but they did enough. The quality of their game helped the team.
also the game of Riley Sanders tonight. It seems like he's taken his game to another level, some real contested ball efforts, but more so another layer in terms of his aerial marking as well. He seems to have added that to his game along with some of the key ball-winning features.
Yeah, it's good that you notice his aerial stuff. That hasn't something that's been a hallmark of his game at this level yet. For him to be able to take one or two pretty critical marks early in the game more than anything, it was important for him and for us. And yeah, he played a different role tonight. He played a bit more of an inside midfielder role, and we minimised his wing time, so his game was a bit different. And to his credit, he really complemented the other more experienced guys in that inside mid brigade.
Tim English, 150 games for the club. He's now in that sort of halfway through his journey with his career. What was your assessment of Tim's game tonight? But now he's in that bit of a sweet spot. What sort of growth has he now got in terms of now going into that second part of his career?
Yeah, well, you've really got you're a visionary here. He's going to play till he's about 40 now. If he's halfway, I reckon. What is he? No, well, he's been with us for 9 years, I think, Tim. So yeah, that's good. Well, he could play for another 9, as you're saying, and to acknowledge the milestone. We always show some great footage of the players, and it wasn't a boring highlights reel of hit out after hit out. Tim's been a turnover player. He's been a defensive intercept player. He's been a ruckman who scores and gets forward of the ball. If you remember when he first started, he was pretty light for a ruckman, and he was up against it. He was playing against ruckmen who were probably 10, 15, sometimes 20 kilos heavier than him. He's been a story of resilience, and I think he's getting better year on year. He's having a pretty solid year. He's strong at the stoppage, and yeah, I think he had a really good game tonight, and he always has really good battles with Todd Goldstein, very experienced centre bounce and around the ground ruckman. So good that we could get a win for him on his 150th.
And Bond's had a big week, and he's backed it up with a pretty impressive performance tonight.
Yeah, he was outstanding. He's got a lot on his plate, Marcus, hasn't he? When you and he and Tom, being recognised as two of the 25, the 24 gentlemen who have been recognised as our most prolific footballers over the last century, and obviously Ali, squeezing a hell of a lot into her last decade, being recognised is outstanding for her, and for the two of them, they've had a bit on. Monday night, I think Marcus said something else. Tuesday night, I think he'll sleep well over the next couple of nights. But they're probably happy that they've moved past the 250th. They've moved on from now. They can just hopefully focus on this last month and continue to play great footy.
When do you start looking at the Giants? When do you put tonight aside and focus on Thursday night?
We've already got a little template around what they've been doing. One of our analysts, our chief analyst, Jay Smith, does a lot of great work for us with the opposition. Him and Lady do a lot. Our coaches get ahead of the curve a bit. So we've got a bit of an idea about what they've been doing, but obviously playing at a parallel time, haven't got much of an idea how their game went tonight against Sydney, other than they were down, then they've had a big third quarter, and I think they're going to win the game pretty comfortably. That's all I know. And they obviously had a few pretty key inclusions this week when you think of Hogan and Taylor and Kelly coming back in their side. So they keep it together. They'll be a pretty strong team, and they're a great opponent that we look forward to playing against. So 6-day turnaround. We play next Thursday, and really look forward to a big challenge for us, but another critical game.
Does it surprise you that Toby Green caused a bit of a stir during the commentary by calling Papley overweight half time?
Oh, did he? I don't know. I can't really comment on it, obviously. Thanks, everyone. Ta.